Hey, welcome to the channel, Mule Fabrications. This is Vince. I am going to be going through some of the details on the yellow J10, the Mule Jeep project. I'm going to be going through some of the turbo stuff because we got to finish up some of the hot side stainless exhaust for it for the crossover piece. So I want to give you guys an update on where we are at with it so you guys can follow along because I'm picking up this YouTube thing midway through this build. So here it goes. So what we have here is an L96 LS motor with the LS3 head. So it came out of a truck, but it's got the LS3 heads, which are a pretty high flow head. And then on here, I ended up getting turbo headers, and I have gotten this much mocked up so far. So it comes off the front of this header up to the turbo, and the turbo I'm running is an S475 Born Warner. And for wastegate, I am running the Turbo Smart 60 millimeter. And then just the other night, I worked on the bypass for it to route it back into the exhaust. And what I'm going to be working on tonight is I have to finish the crossover tube to go from the driver's side bank to the passenger side bank. So that's what we'll be doing. All right, so we got the Atlas transfer case with the cross member, 4L80E. And I have to connect that crossover to that crossover with a bunch of stainless pie cuts and stainless tubing. And the major clearance issue is this upper third link bar here. Let's get after it. So the hard part about these pie cuts and making two ends meet is it's literally like a puzzle. You have to visualize, test, fit, place, and just keep going from there. Sometimes you might route it the whole way and then it just doesn't fit up. But with these stainless pie cuts, one thing you want to always pay attention to, especially if you're going to be TIG welding it, is your fit needs to be really tight. You can't have these parts crooked or any kind of gap because we will be back purging these, and you want to be able to have that strong weld that's not going to crack all the way through without any porosity or contaminations on the other side. So the key is fit up. You want this stuff to fit, so even if you have to start over, cut it all apart and go from the beginning, that's what you're going to do, because otherwise it's going to fail on you later down the road. The other thing is with this channel too is I do not have any fancy equipment. I have a $1,000 TIG welder from Harbor Freight, which works great. My MIG welder is nothing special, and I don't have much tooling other than a 4-inch grinder, 4.5-inch grinder. So one of the other things I want to advocate in this channel is that you don't need all the fancy tools that some big shops have. I'm working out of a 2-car garage, building some crazy Jeeps, manageably. So all you out there who think that you need a crazy shop with all the equipment, you don't. That stuff makes it easier, it doesn't make it impossible. When you're tack welding these stainless pie cuts that are 16 gauge, you always want to do a really hot, quick tap. You don't want to burn through it, and that helps the metal just flow together versus otherwise it'll blow a hole through and it'll contaminate the backside when it burns through. Under the truck with this and made some Sharpie marks on the location of where this elbow should be. Alright, this is how far we've made it so far. Line up there. Like that. And I got some more pie cuts here to try to piece this together. This is one of the hard parts, is holding all the pieces together while you're trying to fit them in place and then mark them. Sometimes you wish you had a third hand. You got to get those to match up to that upper tube just right. I have found you hold it up there where you want it to, and then you make a Sharpie line all the way down. So then when you can go like this, and you can bring it right back up to the bench to tack it where you need, and then you come back and test fit again. It's a back and forth process. It takes a while. So these stainless pie cuts, you could buy a bandsaw and cut them out yourself and deburr them yourself. But for what it is, I got these at Turbonautics. Found them on Amazon, and then I looked up their actual website. And on Amazon, for a pack of 6 of these, it's like $34. But if you go on Turbonautics website, you can get the exact same thing for like $24 for a 6-pack of these. And they are very, very nicely cut. They come in 15 and 18 degree cuts. It makes life a lot easier with this. It is doable with a bandsaw, but for the amount of time you spend cutting and deburring and trying to make things work, it's way easier, way faster just to buy them. If you were doing a lot of this stuff, yeah, then it might be worth it. But for this project, I just bought them. Let's see if we can get this thing fit up. There. This is the part where you wish you had 3 hands, like I said before. Yeah, I like that. Alright, so I got most of the stuff mocked up, and that is the little sliver piece I had to put in to get everything to line up. So I got the other side here. I'll be able to tack this on, fit it all back up, make one more tack weld on the other side, and then I'll be able to have the whole unit put together. Oh yeah, the last piece to go in to get tacked in. Don't that look pretty? Lots of curves. It's going to be fun to weld with the whole setup, but it kind of looks like one of them old beluga horns. Auga! Woo! Alright, we got that crossover all fitted up. Got plenty of clearance for that upper control arm. The suspension is at full compression right now, so we got plenty of clearance now. Had lots of pie cuts, and that last piece, like I said, was just a little sliver to get in there to fill it in. One other thing I didn't mention is this side comes down a little goofy, but that's so I have clearance for the drive shaft coming in off the Atlas. But I am going to go to bed. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to Mule Fabrication, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Hopefully the next video is on the trailer that should be showing up here in the next week for converting that over to toy hauler slash storage slash camper. It'll be used for a lot of things. So talk to you later, guys.